In this video, I'm going to explain how we are using OneSignal to send a notification to the users. So first of all, that I want to let you know is that if you want to play around with OneSignal, keep in mind that you need two things. So one, you need to have a paid developer account. So unless you have a paid developer account, you cannot send notifications. And the second thing that you actually need is a physical device, because you cannot test the notifications on the simulator. Okay, so these are the two main requirements. The reason why we went with OneSignal is because it provides good and nice documentation, as well as provide free tiers, so you basically can have your app running for free as long as you stay within their free tiers. Okay, so I will just show you quickly basically which files are related to OneSignal, but I will not dig too much into how to set up OneSignal with an application, because it's a little bit a long process and you can find a lot of information here. So I've logged in inside OneSignal. So as you can see here, I've logged in. You can create a new app or a website. So if I click here, new app or a website, it's going to ask me, is an Apple iOS, Android, or a web push. So you click on Apple iOS, you put your name of your app, and then you have to follow quite a long process, which there are a lot of things that you need to do. Basically, because you cannot send the notification directly to your phone, but you have to go through Apple, which works as a middleman. So you have basically, I mean, not that you have to do it, but that's how the notification basically reach your phone. So you need to have to follow a lot of steps, but hopefully you should be able to do it if you need to set it up with a new application. If you're using the default Cozie application that we developed for iPhone, basically you don't need to do that. Another thing that I just want to show you is that the notifications here are basically, this is the file relative to OneSignal, and basically this is a generic file in all the app. So what you are going to do is to send a notification to the user which has that app installed on the phone. If the user is actually using the phone at that moment, so far what I've seen is that the notification gets pop up only on the phone. But if the notification is turned on, if the phone is turned on, but the phone is locked and you are wearing an Apple Watch, you're going to receive the notification directly on your Apple Watch. So then clicking on the notification, which you can control the flow from here, from the WatchKit app interface storyboard here, this is what you're going to see. Basically, you're going to see the icon. So it's going to look different from this one because it's just the icon. It says the name of the app, and then here you're going to have the body, the text. So if you click on the alert label, you will be redirected to either of these two interfaces, while if you click here on the icon, you just directly go inside the Cozie app. But again, I cannot show you this because I cannot show you on the simulator. I will have to show you like on a real device. So once you have kind of understood this, let's have a quick look at the OneSignal website. So the OneSignal website, there is one application at the moment, and you can actually send notifications from here. So as you can see here, there is a dashboard. You can send a new push notification manually. So you can decide your audience, you can add the title, subtitle, and message. So you just type some text over there. And if you set up a test device, you can actually send the notifications first to the test device to make sure that you like it. And then you can schedule it or send it immediately and decide what you want to do. You press confirm, it's going to ask you a confirmation, and then you can send the notification. However, what I find that is much more convenient is to have this code running on a server. So you don't have to log in here and every time send a notification. you can do it programmatically using Python, for example. So if you type online and you do Python one signal, basically there is a one signal SDK on PyPy, which I guess you just have to install it. They provide an example usage, so you just have to provide the notification body, app ID, REST API keys, and user authentication key, and it's going to send you the notification. So pretty simple. But I find that it's even simpler if you use this method. So I'm actually using this method here, and I'm not even writing the data here. So I cannot show you the original code because it includes my app ID and my authorization ID. So I don't want to show you the code, but basically keep in mind that it looks exactly like this one without this data section, which you can of course add if you want to. And you just have to import these two packages which come with Python. They're already pre-installed. You have to define the header in which you change the authorization ID. So here you change with this XXX, you change it, and the app ID. Once you have done that, you change the content of the notification, which in this case you just have to write it in English, not in Russian, or I mean you can write it in any language. You can remove this section here, and then you can send the request, and then maybe a print at the end to show that. I just want to show you the whole code here, so you can copy and paste, but you can also look it up online. And that's all. So basically you can have this code running on a server, which either runs using cron tab. So if you're not familiar with the cron tab, it allows you to automate and schedule tasks. So basically it's super simple. You just have to specify Python, so you have to specify the time when you want to run the code, the day of the week, the minute, and so forth. There are a couple of other parameters, and then once you have specified those parameters, which is actually a bit, well, this is a bit more complex, but you specify the time of the day, you specify the hour, and then you specify how you want to run that file. For instance, in our case, it's going to be using Python, and then you specify, okay, so this is a much better image. So you have a minutes, hour, day of the week, month, day of the month, day of the week, and the command to be executed. So in this case, it's going to be Python, and then here you just write the file path where your file is saved. And then this file will actually be triggered at certain intervals. Of course, on the other end, you could even have your code which is querying some certain data. So let's say that you want to send a notification every time the temperature goes above 30 degrees, or every time, I don't know, every time the temperature goes above 30 degrees. Let's assume that you're measuring the temperature in the participant room. So you're querying that data from whichever database you have. As soon as you see that the temperature exceeds that value, you fire Python, and then you can send a notification. So it's much easier because you can do it programmatically rather than having to do it manually. So I think for this video is practically all. You don't have to do anything else because it's already everything set up for you. You just have to the best idea is to copy this code, create a GitHub repository, and upload this code, sync this GitHub repository with a server or a Lambda function, and then having this Lambda function or this server fire at certain interval or based on a certain logic. And then once you have done that, you're going to be able to send a notification to your user asking whatever you want. So in my case, I just here in the content, I wrote, please complete the survey. And then the user will actually see this view. If his phone is actually, is off, if the app on the phone is in the background. So he's going to see this view here on the Apple Watch, and he can click here on the icon, and he can complete the survey. Thank you very much.